Good evening, YouTube. This is Kaylin Strink coming at you with my regular Sunday night dinner. And it looks like there is a continued issue with doing horizontal orientation. But it looks like maybe there is an improvement because I take this. It looks like a little bit more of the tray shows up, but maybe not much. It just could be the way I got my foam mount positioned. And I did not really pay attention to this when I opened it. When I got this plus the other ration off of a US-based eBay seller. This B-2 is actually marked Halal. This has the best before of September of this year. So this could have been packed in 21. The standard B-2 menu has beef meatballs with peas. I don't know if this Halal B-2 will be the same. I was trying to look up this on the internet and I could not even find any pictures of the Halal marking on any of the Spanish rations when I did that Google Lens thing. So this bag is easy to open. I still keep a knife off to the side just in case. Very tight fit on the box. I will keep this bag handy just like for those that come in late. I can just pick up that bag to show them the menu. Inside the bag, it just comes in this plain box. And on top, there is the usual multilingual information sheet. And this one actually says N2 on here. But it's got all the usual stuff that you would find on here in French, English, and Spanish. This is a packet of vegetable soup, so I will need to get a bowl. This is a packet of toothpaste. A single piece of gum in here. Two water purification tablets. Matches, but it looks like the striker on this one kind of got messed up. But the matches themselves look fine. I think it's messed up because of what I'm about to pull out next. This fuel tab, the foil got poked a little bit. That was 2 of the fuel tabs. This one is perfectly fine. I always repackage those anyway when I store them. There are 4 cans in here. I'm blowing off the dust. There are 4 of these vitamin C drink powders. Occasionally you will get some that say oral rehydration salts. Here is a little packet of hand sanitizer. This is fruit cocktail in this one. So here it is, the beef with meatballs. Looks like something got onto this can. I will clean that up in the kitchen. So this is the meatballs with peas. Sardines in a tomato sauce. And this is a pate with a pimento, so it will not be a pork pate because it is labeled halal. So I think it is a fish. I'm looking at the ingredients. Actually, it only has egg and milk, so there is no meat in this one. So it's like a dairy vegetable. That'll be interesting. You got the tissue here. And last thing out of the box is the folding stove. And I keep all those things. So no hot drink in this one. But one of these will go into the drinking jar. And no biscuits with this one. Again, my chat is sideways. I do apologize. I cannot change the orientation. If I do that, it'll tell me to rotate it back. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take the main entree. I'll clean up the can first. And then I will get a bowl to mix the soup in. And I'll be right back. I just took my delicious cup back. Since this menu does not have a hot drink option, and I just decided not to bother with one. This one calls for 200 mils of water. Now these little drink powders, it doesn't specify how much water. So sometimes these are also treated like rehydration salt. No tear notch in it, so I made my own. It has a slight orangish yellowish color to it. Because there's not a whole lot of powder, I do suspect that it will not take much to dissolve this. And that is a look at the vegetable soup mix. I'm going to go ahead and bring in the water for that so I can mix that up real quick. bits of crouton in there, and I can smell the vegetable flavorings. I'm going to put that back there. I think before I open up these three, I'm going to go take these cans into the kitchen and just wipe off any residual from those fuel tabs. I want to do that before I open them up. And I dipped a paper towel into the water that I'm boiling the main in. Just to make sure I get all the residue off of the tray. Now I will go ahead and get the main and bring that in. I dried it off camera. And I just use this to bring it in. And I opened it inside there just in case it did do that. So there is the meatballs in the tomato sauce with peas. And this is the pate. It looks like a normal meat pate. Looks very, very creamy. So this thing is definitely packed with protein. I have a bag off to the right that I'm putting my trash in. So that is what the sardines in the tomato sauce look like. And that fits perfectly right there. And that is a fruit cocktail. Again, for those just coming in late, this is the Halal B-2. The one other time I had this ration, it did not have this halal marking here. But it's nice to see that the Spanish military is very accommodating to the Muslim soldiers in their ranks. I'm sure there may be a kosher version, or any Jews may simply be given one of these halal rations. Actually, I'm going to switch the fruit. Yeah, these fruit cocktail cans are not quite. Yeah, I'll just keep that off to the side. So there is a look at the size of the meatballs that you get. Actually, I'll just go ahead and dump these out just to make it easier. So I get 6 meatballs, and I already started to break up one. Not a whole lot of spice to it. Right amount of salt. Wouldn't mind seeing a few more peas in this one. But the peas were actually not mushy, which is very nice. So that is what, just slide these over a little bit. Actually, I could probably shift this table. I'm going to make one more adjustment, see if I can raise this up just a little bit. Again, I won't be able to, sorry about that. Yeah, that should help a little bit. Actually, not much. Well, that helps a little bit. Again, I wish I could do this horizontal. Again, I cannot see on my chat. There we go. I literally have to take it out of the mount or just stand up to see it. This soup has thickened up. I'm going to give it a taste. If it's too salty, I might just throw in a little bit more water. Now, that is very salty. I just put a little bit more water in there to dilute it a little bit. I'm going to I used a cup of water roughly, and there's not a whole lot of flavor to it, but these aren't designed just be a flavorful drink. It's just to keep your nutrients up. That's a pretty smooth pate. It kind of tastes like, it might actually have, it tastes like a beef liver. So it may actually have, I did not see a word for beef on the ingredients when I was looking at the underside of the can. But it does taste like beef liver. But it's a very, very smooth pate. I'm kind of bummed that they chose to not include biscuits in the ration, but I'm sure a Spanish soldier would have had one of those larger packs of biscuits that I've actually had. I got one of those when Foreign MRE used to sell these. And you could get these larger packs of biscuits that a soldier would keep throughout the day. They would have been issued separately. There would be a salty biscuit as opposed to the sweet ones that you would find in some of the breakfast rations. But this is one of my favorite Spanish rations. I suppose the only other way I could do this and still be able to read the chat is if I might actually have to experiment with that. Do a stream, but then just turn my Kindle on and mute it, and then get into my own stream, and then look at the chat that way. That would be, unless YouTube decides to allow horizontal streaming again, and I wish they would. Now, these vertical streams are fine if you're not demonstrating something, especially on a wide surface. Yeah, if you're doing something where you're just showing the face or a small area, yeah, that's fine. But this, not so much. And you can't read the chat in this mode. So. I see Camp Patton Family Compound, spicy tuna rolls. Chelsuk is here. And DeCarlos Perry. And Mike Crasher. I just stood up just to see who's in the chat, and I did bump the phone mount, so I do apologize for that. But I did want to see who is all in here. So thanks to all of you for dropping in. And for those coming in late, a certified Halal B-2. I just pulled a random pop top out of the bag to see if it would have what kind of a date it would have. I pulled out the one for the sardines. So it has a best buy of 24. So now that I've added a little bit water to this soup, yeah, adding a little bit more water definitely toned down the saltiness. If I wanted more flavor in this, I could have put 2 of these packets in here. Maybe throw in another couple ounces of water. Tomato sauce and olive oil. Plus some herbs to flavor the sardines. It's a whole lot better than just a plain fish. But I still think the meatballs are the better of this one. Would have been nice, again, to have a few more peas in there. Now, the other one that I got from this seller, that one appears to be an entirely fish-based menu. And the Spanish, especially along the coastal areas, they do eat a lot of fish. I think this pate would go good with Polish special biscuits. But I don't have any of those. But it would take something more than a U.S. Emery cracker because they're too flimsy to put something like this on. A lot of syrup in this fruit cocktail. That's why I'm leaving it in a can. Typical fruit cocktail like we know. My air conditioner kicking back on. Sardines are not overly fishy tasting. The tomato sauce kind of cuts through that. I hope you all are enjoying this one. I don't know if I have ever seen anyone else open up a certified halal Spanish ration before. Looks like a bit of carrot and some herb. There's onion in there. I just bit into a bit of onion. So this vegetable soup, once you get enough water in it to cut through the saltiness, it's not bad. I checked on another ration order. And I won't say where I got it yet. Not until after it actually comes to me. But it's in a couple of different shipments. And the one item is something that I have been wanting to get a hold of but had not yet, but then I saw that there was a pretty good price on it, so I got it. And then I got another one which might be pretty interesting. And when I ordered these two rations off of an eBay seller, it was random menus. I had no idea what menus were going to be picked. Then this other place, I ordered a couple of Spanish rations, a breakfast one because I wanted the biscuits. and the usual things that come in a breakfast ration, and then had another B-2. So I don't know if that one will be just the standard that doesn't have the halal marking, or if that one will have the halal marking like this one did. Actually, you know what? My tablet, in fact, I'm going to try this. I'm going to go into my channel on my tablet. I have it on mute, so I'll have to get past the ad. So now I am in my own chat. Yeah, I was just looking at Spicy's comments about all the wildfires that are going on. Yeah, that's some crazy stuff. And depending on the weather patterns, that smoke has been coming here across Iowa. Yeah, these are beef meatballs. And it is in a light tomato, more like, yeah, more of a broth than a sauce. This would be closer to a sauce. It's a little bit thicker on the sardines, but it's a light tomato beef broth. Yeah, that's one thing about the European rations. A lot of these, the meatball does have a rougher look to it because it's not so finely processed meat like you would get in, say, a can of spaghetti and meatballs from a store. Yeah, the meatballs in that are almost as finely processed as a pate. And this is why this is one of my favorite Spanish mains that I've had. I've only had a few Spanish rations, but this is one of my favorite Spanish mains. I just wish it had more peas in it. Yep, not perfectly round, but perfectly delicious. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep this up like this with my tablet off. This is the only way I can read the chat in these streams because on my phone screen it's sideways. Of course, I got my cord dangling just below the bottom of your view because I can't have it away, with having this vertical orientation. Now these soup mixes, this would be good to flavor some instant rice or some instant noodles. So if I had this soup mix and some instant rice or instant noodles in my camping food bag, yeah, I would definitely mix that. The squid, if it's properly cooked, it's awesome. I'm not sure if that one will be in the B-4 that I have. I'm eating some more of the sardines. It may look strange when you open it up because the squid ink is actually included. But if you like squid, or even if you like octopus, as long as it's properly cooked, not overly cooked, it's actually not too bad at all. So I guess I'll find out when I open that one up. Because I'm digging this pate as well. It kind of has that Braunschweiger smell, but it's not quite as smooth. It's got a tiny bit more texture to it. And with the seasonings that they put in here, a little bit better flavor. And just for the sheer heck of it, little meatball chunks that have broken off, and some of the peas I'm putting in the soup just for the sheer heck of it. Yeah, I like that combination of flavors. Way back, I got one of these with the squid in it. I'm guessing probably 2018. You'd have to dig back that far. I don't remember the menu at all. What that was, had to look that up for the Spanish ration with the squid. These little vitamin C packets, these would be good for a get home bag, bug out bag, any EDC kit that you may carry. Or, you just need a kick of vitamin C, but you don't want to take a tablet or, pill. You can take care of that with one of these. Now these sardines break up very easily, like flakes apart. They usually get 3 good size sardines in there. I'm a little more partial to the Polish sprats, but yeah, I do not mind these at all. Back when I was a kid, my dad would eat a can of sardines every night. So I don't think there were anything as flavorful as these. Of course, that was when he was able to afford them. There are times where we just had to leave off a lot of things. So those times my dad didn't get his sardines, but we thought that it was a strange thing. Of course, as I grew up and I've tried them, I keep sardines in my stash. In fact, several of the cans that I have someone had brought to the mosque, I guess. Someone was eating them. I don't know if someone thought that we could use them or if someone just wanted to have a sardine snack, but then no one was taking them, so I liberated them. You know, they'd gone past their best buy date, but I have no problem in eating those. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I have a another can of the Spanish sardines that was just loose in a box of goodies that someone had sent me a few years ago. I still have that can. Now, the sardines and mustard, I don't think I've ever had that. I would definitely have to give that one a go. Just ate a couple of bites of the fruit. There is Multi Magnum in the house. Thanks for dropping in. A certified halal Spanish B-2. First time I've ever seen a Spanish ration with the halal marking on it. And it is the same main as the standard B-2, the meatballs, beef meatballs in a tomato gravy with peas. And the peas are not mushy, which I like very much. Yeah. When I opened the package, I really didn't notice it. I just noticed B2, so I looked it up later. Yeah, that is the halal marking. And that means that the meats, the animals that the meats came from have been slaughtered in a specific manner and God's name pronounced on them. You know, humanely slaughtered. You know, fed well, cared for, no pork. So that would include this pate. It's a beef liver pate. Very delicious. Got sardines in a tomato sauce. And then this is a vegetable soup which I threw in a few bits of meatball and the peas in here just for the heck of it. Tiny bits of carrot, good, good amount of onion. There's one of the peas I put in. No hot drink in there, and I just decided to skip it, so no delicious mug. So I got 4 of these vitamin C powders. Well, DeCarlos, maybe it was a garage garden. You can have a indoor garden thing under grow lights in your garage. At least you didn't accidentally call it garbage. Yep, I would be happy getting those sardines again. Yeah, I think he might have had the one with the oral rehydration salts. It's a sales de rehydración. Or something to that effect. But I watched him, the me ancient, he opened up a customs rated RCIR, and he was left with one thing that the custom thieves overlooked, probably due to ineptness. Pretty much breakfast items, and then he had a Spanish breakfast ration, which is pretty much biscuits, jam, cocoa mix. So I did watch that video. But I think his breakfast one might have had the oral rehydration salt packets. but it could have had these vitamin C ones. I just noticed as I was putting that packet back into the box, I have a huge delay between what I see on my phone screen and what I see on my tablet. Oh, that's okay. You take your time. I usually, I do these on Sundays since that's usually the day I don't have much going on. So I'm hoping to have the other rations that I've ordered from a site that I will name once I get them. So I hope to open up either one of those next Sunday. And then the Sunday after that, the 22nd, I will most likely not be streaming because that is the weekend of the White Eagle Multicultural Powwow, which I volunteer at every year doing kids' crafts. And then once that's done and the final giveaway is completed, we start cleaning things up, starting to take things down. Those that have to leave on Sunday will pack up and leave Sunday evening. And so the person that I will be riding with, she has to leave at that time. She also does the kids' crafts with me. But others will stay, and then on Monday, they'll take all the teepees down and the other larger covered seating areas. And I will be sleeping in one of the teepees again, like I did last year. Oh, the spinach fettuccine, I actually like that one, but I like to combine it with the white cooked chicken chunks. That's my favorite way to eat that one. So if anyone ever gets a spinach fettuccine, I will definitely go for that because I actually like it. I may be weird, but I'm okay with that. I have that MRE with the white cooked chicken chunks. I would just combine those two together. The chicken adds to the flavor of the spinach fettuccine. actually like the French nougat bars. Sometimes you get them in British rations. But if they are the newer ones, they taste a little bit better. But I'll eat the older ones too. I only see one half of a cherry. There's pears, peaches. I'm looking for grapes in this. I don't think there's any grapes. Pears, peaches, and a tiny bit of cherry. I'm going to have a few more bites of this soup. The croutons, by now, they pretty much dissolve in your mouth when you eat it. Yep, because you don't get a lot of cherries in the fruit mix unless you get one that actually says it's got more cherries in it. I'm not sure what's up with that. A nice piece of bread would be good to kind of sop up this broth. But I don't have that, but I'm okay with that. Ooh, someone's gonna have a box to open. That should be a good one. Knowing how Mike packs a box. He knows how to pack a box. Yep. If you get more, if you get a whole cherry, that's a real bonus. So again, on the 22nd, I will not be streaming. I have no idea what time I'm going to get home. The one place that I ordered some rations from, they had a shipping delay because they relocated to a new facility, and I think there was a family emergency of one of the employees. So I got that email. And so I responded that, I'm okay with that. But I'm definitely looking forward to getting these items in. One of the items is just something for me. That's a bit of meatball I'd thrown in the soup earlier. It's a multiple pack of one item. So I might do something with them on video or in live, I don't know. But the site had a good deal on those, so I pounced on it. And then some of those I just may experiment with it, just making a meal for myself here at home. You've got to do that once in a while. Just get something just for your personal enjoyment. Another tiny bit of carrot. I don't know if you saw that. I have not heard or seen anything lately. Bob Gaskin. That his name is Bob Gaskin. I don't even know if the YouTube channel is still up and running or if it got taken down or what. I've never bothered to look. Yeah, it's a shame that things happen to people, but yet at the same time, they need to, when something happens, and you got a lot of people that follow you and had liked what you're doing, at least let them know that something's going on. Back into the sardines. I still never got anything from this other startup called Valhalla. I had ordered an item, I think 2 or 3. No communication whatsoever. No offer of a refund or anything. I mean, yeah, I understood that was to, all the proceeds, any profits would go to support veterans. But because I never got what I'd ordered, I got no communication other than saying, yeah, it's been shipped, but I never got any notification. So I just figured, well, I got burned on that one. So that told me that there was something going on. I still have a few Minotaur items, mostly the freeze-dried food pouches. It's not like I'm going to dump those. It's unfortunate that, stuff happens like that, and, we just have to get past it. Yeah, substitution is fine, it's like, yeah, we couldn't get this, but we'll give you this. But because I never got any kind of offer to refund or, exchange or anything like that with that particular order, I was really looking forward to reviewing those items on my channel, but, it is what it is. I wonder how Jack of Trades is doing out there in his piece of California. Haven't seen him on here either for a long time. Yeah, I don't know how close he is to you, Spicy, but He is somewhere in that state. So I hope he's ready to deal with the fires if they are close to his area. Now, if you got a haul tail, you got a haul tail. Yeah, that's awesome. Here's another another good one. I just wish he would get back on here and do a little something. Of course, Dub C, I miss watching his stuff too. Especially when he would do an overnighter in the bushcraft camp that he built. And he had one pretty sweet setup. Yep. Yeah, I mean, I hope he's not one of those that just drops off and doesn't doesn't keep in contact with anybody. And Kiwi Dude is back. I'm glad to see he's back at it. He was one of the first reviewers I started watching after Steve 1989 and Sticky Fingers. That's another guy I haven't seen anything from for a while. In fact, he has a mess kit collection, and I sent him a Polish Scout mess kit to add to his collection. I got 2 of those mess kits, so I kept one for myself, and then I sent him the other one. So it'd be nice to see him come on again. Yep. In fact, I think he did some of that. I think he went to Dave Canterbury's survival school. I think he took as far as I know, he took the first level of their survival class. But that's as far as I've known of him doing anything like that. Yeah. Yeah, I miss Mickey too. I mean, he was a little unorthodox, but there's nothing wrong with that. And because he had his wife helping him do it, especially after he injured his hand, it was fun enjoying watching the two of them getting into one of these. Yeah, Moretti, you see, I haven't seen him do rations in a long time, but he does fireworks shows. So his family is in the pyrotechnics business and they do fireworks shows. So he put up a 4th of July fireworks show video. Since he is heavily into that. But I did enjoy his ration reviews. Yep, time flies. Yep, my great niece is a teenager. She's 13. Yeah, I still can see in my mind I'm sitting on a couch or a chair holding her in my lap. Yeah. Now she's 13. Well, she turned 13 in April. Oops, sorry about that. Catching the dang phone cord, so I gotta fix that. There we go. That's okay, Mike. Thanks for dropping in. Yeah, Elsie could only dip in at the beginning if she even, I didn't see her drop a comment, but yeah, she'll catch it on the replay. Gonna have another bite of these. Well, maybe more than one bite of these sardines. I'll finish these off. Yeah. It would be awesome to have a ration reviewer meetup somewhere. Yeah, that's one thing that Bob Gaskin did do is he set those up. Of course, I would also like to see Sean, the guy who started up the Ration Museum channel. I would love to see him on again, give an update on what's going on with him and his life there in Pennsylvania. That's where he's at. Well, sometimes if you gotta haul tail in a hurry, you gotta do that. Stuff happens. Actually, last night I was watching Gray Man Prepping, Gil's other channel besides Camp Patton Family Compound. It's the GRAY spelling. I was actually at the mosque. I was taking a bit of a break while waiting for some others to come to help move some things around because we're reorganizing the space in the basement. And so I'll just fire up the stream. So I was watching the first half hour, or maybe actually watching the first 15 minutes, but then I turned my phone volume down, or actually put my phone to sleep, and that pretty much killed the stream, so I couldn't hear it, because I started doing some stuff, and then it came time to pray, so by the time we had finished the sunset prayer, for those of us who were there, it was pretty much, it was over by then. Gil was talking about having goats on your land to either raise for meat or milk or both. Or to keep vegetation in check that you don't want taking over everything. So that's what he was talking about. Of course, that's useless to me since I live in the middle of a city. And I can't have a goat on my deck. I think I've gotten everything I'm going to get out of that can. Sorry, I bumped the foam out again as I was saucing that can into a bag that I got off to my right for my trash. Drink this soup. As I was saying, it would be pretty awesome to go to a Ration meetup. Well, 3 more bits of cherry. I scored. I thought I only had the 1/2 cherry, but I'll take that. Of course, my problem is because I don't drive, I would have to have a way to get there. Plane tickets are expensive. And plus, I have to have one of those so-called real IDs. And the one I got back in 2016 after I moved here doesn't qualify for that. I pretty much killed that. There's nothing but sauce left in there. Which will be good too. I'll still get bits of sardine out of that. Yeah, a few nights ago, overnight, the air quality index had gone into what they call the moderate, meaning that there was extra crap in the air. From all the wildfires. Yeah, call that one done. Yeah, that wildfire smoke has really got to be a bugger. We don't get a whole lot of that here in Iowa unless it's a grass fire or a prairie fire or something like that. You know, our air here is not so dry. It's very humid in the summer. Not like in the south, you know, where John is, but it can be very humid. But we would get more of a flood here when we get too much rain. You know, last year and the year before, there were some grass fires or wildfires that were in open ground, because we were still under severe drought condition. But we have had a decent amount of rain. But we're not going to get any more rain for the next 10 days. The last chance of rain we were supposed to have here, it wasn't much at all. It went by my area. Yeah, a dry heat feels so much different than humid heat. Of course, if it's like above 110 for 2 months straight, yeah, I would not be a happy camper. I would definitely want to have something to keep me cool all the time. Couple of bits of the meatball that I put in the soup earlier. Makes it a little bit more enjoyable by doing that. And I bet that 106 was in the shade. Where Gil is at in eastern Idaho, it's still getting up into the 90s on some days. But he's doing his winterization on his Camp Patton Family Compound channel. He put up some more lattice panels on his patio, the posts that support his patio cover. And what that will do is keep a lot of snow from blowing on, and plus he can train plants to go up it. And today he put up a video of a tree service taking down a dead pine, and all the branches got chipped up, and so that can be used either as animal bedding or mulch, weed barrier. It's at the property that his daughter and her husband lived on. They have rabbits and chickens. And so then the rest of the tree that was not cut down is going to be the base for a play set. And he will show the build of that. You know, something for the grandkids. Nope. So far, the left coasters have avoided hurricanes. The last tropical storms that went through actually went towards Hawaii. I'm going to finish off my fruit. Yep, that's something I don't have to worry about here in Iowa, but we can get some storms here. Yeah, the last time my power actually went out was just another one of those couple of minute things. It wasn't even a storm going on. It was just one of those freak things where something hits a line and it's out for maybe a minute or two. And it's kind of weird when that happens because I may have lost my internet access, when my cable modem goes down, but yet the video that I'm watching is still playing. And then after a while, it'll get froze up, I guess, preloading. I'm not sure exactly how that all works, but the video will play for probably another minute or so, and then it will finally quit. But I keep my little power stations charged up all the time, and they're in easy reach. So if I need to do something, I got one of those. Actually, I have them all within easy reach, but I can grab one. They're not the really big 2,000 watt jobs. But even that 600 watt Opus one that I won off of a Facebook giveaway, I can easily carry that one around. I've never tried to run my refrigerator off of it because that thing is such a beast and it's so tight in there. I don't know if I will be able to get at the cord to unplug it from the wall and then plug it into the power station. Yeah, well, we can have them here too. The New Madrid Fault is south and east of here, and when that thing pops off, if it pops off strong enough, we can feel it. We can feel it up here. So it's back in 2007. There was a quake that some people right here in Des Moines felt when the New Madrid rumbled, but I did not feel it. I was actually outside at the time, walking somewhere in the downtown area, but I didn't feel a thing. But others did. Of course, back in the 1800s, the last time the New Madrid really shook things up, it literally sent the Mississippi flowing backwards. So instead of the water coming from the north and going south, it was sent up. And that really made things a little hairy for anybody along the river. You know, the path of the river got permanently altered as a result. Now, that one that was felt by some people up here back in 2007, I think it was like a 3.5. So not a lot of people would have felt that one. One of my sisters was at home at the time and she felt it. It all depends on what the ground is like underneath you. Well, I've got the last big piece of cherry out of there. Ben over at Suspicious Observers has a site called QuakeWatch.net. And that site has all the plots of the various earthquakes that go on, not just in the US, but around the world. So there's one place that you can go to just track all the quakes that are going on, how intense they are, whether or not their final readings get upgraded or downgraded. And I think it even shows how deep it is, whether it's deep in the crust or closer to the surface. But there's, like I said, there's a place you can go to track all that. Well, that'll take care of the fruit. Well, fires, if they're intense enough, they can generate their own weather patterns. I was poking around a news site yesterday, and there was one about how extremely hot, intense fires that are moving fast can generate their own weather patterns. Yep, finish that off. Well, thanks for dropping in. I'm probably going to go ahead and call this one done myself since I've finished off everything. I hope you all enjoyed checking out this Halal certified Spanish ration. It was neat seeing one marked halal like that. And when the other B-2 comes in, whether or not it, it arrives in good condition, it'll be neat to see if that one is the standard B-2 or if it'll have the halal marking like this one did. But I will have to wait for that to get here. So I should have some fresh shipping updates on all these that I'm waiting on tomorrow. So these other ones that I ordered, the ones other than the Spanish rations from this other site, I think it'll be fun to check those out. And I hope to be able to rip into one of those next week. Shadow Scout Swede. You missed a halal Spanish ration, but the same standard B-2 main, the beef meatballs with peas And it had the sardines in tomato sauce. It had a beef liver pate, a vegetable soup, no hot drink. I could have gone with an instant tea, like making myself a cup of tea with one of the tea bags I got in my kitchen, or grabbing an instant coffee, but I just decided not to bother with it, so no delicious mug. Vitamin C powders. They put 4 of these in the ration. I only used 1. I'll sit on these other 3. And yeah, I had to do the vertical stream, but I put the stream up on my Kindle so I can read the chat without having to contort myself. And so far, I haven't lost connection. So I think I will be doing this every time. So next Sunday, it will be hopefully one of the other rations that I got coming in that I'm waiting on. Ones that the site had a sale on, and I thought they were interesting. One that ration type that I had been wanting to get my paws on, and now I have it on the way to me. Plus another one that I thought was an interesting one. So I'm looking forward to showing you those. So one of those will be up next Sunday. If I don't get either one of those in time, then I'll pull out the B-4 Spanish ration and dig into that. Then the Sunday after that, the 22nd, I will not be streaming because I will either be on my way home from the White Eagle Multicultural Powwow, where I do kids crafts every year with another person, or I will still be there helping to pack up. The other person that I do it with is my driver, so we'll help each other get packed up, and then she'll bring me back here. So I will try to get a little bit of video of that when I have some downtime, when there's not so many kids at the craft tables. But I do enjoy doing that every year. And I'm looking forward to getting out there and just watching kids have fun and creating little projects they can take home. And learning about indigenous cultures, not only here in the U.S., but from other countries or represent other cultures. But I will get into that at a later time. But I think I'm going to go ahead and close this one out. For those that catch it on the replay, I do apologize for not being able to hold a horizontal stream. But I have to make do with the best way I can. And so far, this old foam mountain is still holding up. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me tonight. Catch you on the flip side.